together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. Just me today. We have a smallish card. We get 2 Monday Night Football games, but we get 6 games in the NBA, 3 in the NHL, so 11 games to go over for this card. So nothing crazy. But before we get into that, we'll quickly recap yesterday. Down day. Frustrating. NFL, I'm ready for the NFL season to be over. It's been horrible. The public has been absolutely eating, which means I'm getting destroyed. So fun times there. Tennessee does not cover. They lose 37-27. I was hoping for a backdoor cover there. Oh, well. Houston does get the job done, the -2.5. Winner there. They win 20-12. Cleveland plus 4.5. Loser. They lose 21-7. Carolina -2.5. They lose 30-14 against Dallas. So sure, now Dallas shows up. Detroit -2. They lose. Annoying game there. Philly -5.5 was a winner. They take care of business 27-13 over Pittsburgh. And that was all the NFL for me there. So yeah, the NFL is getting really old really quick. And I believe it is probably the worst sport to bet on, personally. But we'll move on. College basketball, Rhode Island -9. They win by 8, so sure. Northwestern -6.5. They win by 11, so that was a nice winner there. Kent State -17.5. They beat Mercyhurst 82-57. Nice winner there. That was it for college basketball. So 2 in one day for college basketball. And then NHL started off with the over in the Sabres game. 5-3 win for the Leafs. 10 straight losses for the Sabres. Doesn't matter. The over cashed. The over came up short on that Carolina game. 4-1 win for the Hurricanes there. I needed it over 6. They did not get there. Went 2-2 overall in hockey because I got the Blues, lost the Wild. The Blues beat the Rangers 3-2. Right now, the Rangers are not in the playoffs if the season were in today. Which is kind of crazy to think about. And then the Wild lose 3-2 against Vegas. So annoying loss there. NBA was a 1-2 day. Got the Dallas Mavericks -2.5. Lost with the Magic plus 4.5 and the Celtics team total over 125.5. So not a great day yesterday, down 3.15 units, but we can rebound today. Oliver Wahlstrom to the Bruins. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed the Islanders got literally nothing for him, putting him on waivers. That was the most frustrating part about it. I actually kind of liked Wahlstrom. I thought he had potential. It's frustrating to see the Islanders get absolutely nothing for him, though. Can the Bills beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? I think, yeah. I definitely think so. But we've said that the last few years, so we'll see. Supness, what's good, Lex? What the Wild are doing is so impressive because they spent $15 million less than every team. Yeah, they've done really well this year so far. But we'll get started in the NBA, and then we will go to the NFL, and then we will go to the NHL. So we'll get it started with the Philadelphia 76ers and the Charlotte Hornets. The Sixers are 3-point favorites, total 217. Taking a look at the line history in this one, this line opened up at a -4, immediately went down to a 3 about 2.5 hours later, and got down to a 2 at one point, back to a 3, back up to a 3.5, back down to a 3. So we've had a 1-point line movement towards Charlotte in this game, and this line opened up at a 211.5, immediately went up to 213, and then all the way up to 217. So we've had a small move towards Charlotte. And we've had a big move towards the over in this game here, which Charlotte and overs right now are not appealing because they've been a pretty decent under team so far this season. When you look at the cash flow coming in, 72% of tickets, 70% cash on the Sixers, and the line's moving towards the Hornets a little bit there. 54% of tickets, 62% of cash on the over. Line is moving towards the over, and now we're getting up pretty high, or not high. Actually, compared to the opening line to 11.5, yeah, it's pretty high. But we have this line at around a 260.5, 217. I guess I lean over the total in this game. It looks pretty sharp, but I mean, I don't trust these teams to play it over. Both these teams have been more of under teams. 12 and 10 in the under, 10 and 12 over under for the Sixers, and 10 and 14 for the Charlotte Hornets. So two teams that have been playing more unders and overs. Kind of does worry me, but the market's kind of telling me we see points in this game, or this total is a little bit too low, which is interesting. I kind of agree. And then we have 72% tickets, 70% of cash on the Sixers, and this line's really bounced around. Nothing crazy there. It'd be Hornets. It'd be over. Not a game I feel the need to get involved with. A 1-800 gambler game. Both these teams have 7 wins on the year so far. 7 and 16 for the Sixers, and the Hornets are 7 and 18. So no interest in that really, right? For this game, simple pass for this game. We'll keep going. Miami Heat and the Detroit Pistons. The Heat are 4.5-point favorites, total of 219. Line opened up at a 3.5. It's now a 4.5. So we do have a move towards Miami in this game. It did get all the way up to a 5 at one point. There has been a little bit of buyback on the Pistons at the 5 number. Line opened up at a 217. It's now a 219. So we have a move towards the over here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow. We have 83% tickets and 68% of cash is on these Heat. The line's at least moving towards them. 77% tickets and 76% of the cash is on the over in this game, with the line moving towards said over from the 217 up to the 219 range. Another game that feels kind of tricky. The Heat are 13 and 10, 11 and 12 ATS, 10 and 13 over under, 4 and 6 on the road. The Pistons, though, are 10 and 16, 12, 13 and 1 ATS, 12 and 14 over under, 4 and 7 at home. The Heat seemed a little interesting in this game, laying the points. They've won 4 in a row, covered in 3 of them. They didn't cover as 10.5-point favorites in their last game against the Raptors. They won by exactly 10. So there's that. Ultimately, probably another no play here for me. This NBA card doesn't seem too appealing. And this one, the market's not really giving me too much. I guess if I would have to bet anything from the first 2 games, it'd be the over in the previous game that we talked about. But another no play here for me. As we continue on. Chicago Bulls, Toronto Raptors. Bulls -1, total 240 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history. Line opened up at a -1 for Toronto. Now it's -1.5 for the Bulls. So a dog to favorite move for Chicago in this game. Line opened up 238. It's now all the way to a 240. So we have a Chicago team that gone from dog to favorite in this one here. 64% tickets and 64% of cash is on them on the spread. Sharp money on their money line, though. It's 41% of tickets, 80% of the cash is on the Bulls. Now, we know the Raptors have been a pretty good covering team. That is, though, they're not winning games. They're 7 and 19 straight up, but they're 18 and 8 ATS, 12 and 14 over under, 6 and 7 at home. So they are obviously way better at home than they are on the road. They are 1 and 12 when they play in the United States. So kind of interesting there. The Bulls are 11 and 15, 13 and 13 ATS, 15 11 over under, 7 and 6 on the road. So this is a good Bulls team on the road, is one thing we have noticed. I'm going to take a shot here with Chicago in this game. The dog to favorite kind of makes them appealing. The sharp money on their money line makes it very appealing. And I think this is a good spot for Chicago. So let's take a look here. The best available line, -120 over on Fanatic Sportsbook. So we're going to go ahead, take the Chicago Bulls at -120 here against the Toronto Raptors. No chat this morning. Kind of interesting there. There we go. What's good, Nicholas Handy? We move on. Going pretty swiftly through these NBA games. The Cavaliers are 10-point favorites, total of 218.5. Let's take a look at the line history for this one, where we have the Cavaliers. Oh, wrong game there. Clicked. There we go. This line opened up at a 10, got down to a 9. It's back up to a 10. So we have really no line movement here on the side. For the total in this one, it opened up at a 225. It's all the way down to a 217, a massive move towards the under here. The question is, has it gone too far now that we've moved 7.5 points towards the under in this game? Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we do have 38% of tickets and 53% of cash on the under. The line is plummeting. 81% of tickets and 85% of cash on the Cavaliers in this game as well. A tricky game. I mean, part of me wants to see this line continue to drop and maybe take a shot at the over. Like seeing a line move 7.5 points since the opening line makes it kind of appealing. The Cavaliers have been a decent over team this year. They've gone over this number in 1, 2, 3, 4 straight games. And then 6 of the last, or in 5 of the last 6 of the last 7. Actually, 9 of the last 10, they've gone over 216.5. The Brooklyn Nets have been a little bit of an over team as well. This line plummeting, I want to go ahead and take – I'm going to do that. I haven't been doing this enough this year. When a line is absolutely plummeted one way or gone heavy one way, turn around and take the opposite. I'm getting 216 over on FanDuel. Yeah, sign me up. Cleveland and Brooklyn over 216, minus 110 on FanDuel. I just think this line has gone too far. And I'm going to try to take advantage here. Over 216 here, minus 110 between Cleveland and Brooklyn. There. 2 games remaining in the NBA. Let's get into it. The Sacramento Kings are 1.5-point favorites, total 237 in this matchup against the Denver Nuggets. And let's take a look at the line history. It opened up at a pick. It's now minus 1.5 for Sacramento. Line opened up 236. It's now 237 for this one as well. So move towards the over in this game too. We have, looks like the public a little bit on the Nuggets here. 75% tickets, 64% cash on the Nuggets. The line's moving towards the Sacramento Kings, 53% tickets and 53% cash on the money line for Sacramento. So I guess that kind of makes sense a little bit that the with the money line moving, but seeing all this on the Nuggets and the line moving towards the Kings tells me the Kings are probably the play in this game. Jamal Murray is day to day for this one. So is Christian Braun. Saric is going to remain out as well. On the flip side, really no one there. Carter and Lyles for Sacramento. But the fact that once again, this is a move, looks like a little bit of a public dog with the Denver Nuggets in this game. Definitely piques my interest in Sacramento. I want to see what the type of number I can get for Sacramento is in this game. Minus 125 would be the best available number here. I'm going to take a shot with Sacramento in this game. Minus 125 over on Fanatics, ESPN Bet, BetMGM, Bovada. There's a bunch of different books offering the minus 125 line. Give me Sacramento here in this game. Minus the 125 on the money line against the Denver Nuggets. I'm going to take a shot here. Fading a little bit of a public dog in this game with the line moving against them. So kind of the market telling me the Kings are the play in this game. And I'll take a shot here in this one with Sacramento. Still no chat. Wow. Let's keep it going. Utah Jazz and Los Angeles Clippers, final game of the NBA card. I'm going to go into the YouTube app just to make sure that it's not StreamYard popping or not showing comments. That it's actually just, we usually don't have comment section this quiet. Yeah, it has been. Okay. Just making sure that I'm not missing people's comments. Clippers are 8-point favorites against the Utah Jazz. The total 224.5 in this game. Line opened up at a 9, down to an 8.5, down to an 8, back up to an 8.5 though. I line opened up 225.5. It's down to a 223, so move towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here. 66% of tickets, 68% of cash is on the Clippers. The line's not really moving too much. 52% of tickets, 51% of the cash is on the Jazz in this one here. With the line are on the over in this one here as well. Kind of a tricky game. I definitely do not want to be laying 8.5 with the Clippers, but do I really want the Jazz? Not particularly. And this total, I don't really have too much of an opinion on it there. This one's a simple pass for me to end the NBA card. So looks like for the NBA, it'll just be Chicago, the over in Cleveland, and Sacramento for me today. So just those 3 plays in the NBA. And we will move on to the NFL. We have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. The Vikings are 7-point favorites, total of 44 in this game. Look at line was a 6, opening line was a 7, and it stayed a 7 basically. It did dip down to a 6.5 per minute. Buy back immediately, put it back up to a 7, but we're seeing basically 7s juiced across the board towards the Bears. So since the opening line, it's been a 9-cent line movement on the +7 towards the Bears. Look at line 42.5, opening line 43.5. We're now looking at 44s. So we do a move towards the over in this game as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have 80% of the tickets and 76% of the cash is on the Vikings, and this line has stayed put. The line's not moved at all. So kind of interesting there. That the public is betting the Vikings and the market is showing no fear towards it. And then 83% of tickets, 69% of cash on the over. The line's moving towards the over there in this one. I took the Bears in this one at +7. I got -115 last night for it. Yes, and I get it. It's an ugly play. Yeah. But I have no problem being on the side with 20% of the bets that's moving slightly towards it as well. Yes, the Bears have, which I do believe they can do. The Vikings, yes, they're 11-2 this year. Other than last week, a blowout win against the Falcons, they'd struggled to cover spreads recently, where they won but didn't cover against Arizona. They won but didn't cover against Chicago. They won and didn't cover against Jacksonville. So they've won 6 in a row. They've only covered in 3 of them. So it's not unheard of for the Vikings to win but not cover in this game, which I could see this coming down to a field goal. We saw the Bears. They played 3 straight divisional games on the 17th, the 24th, and the 28th, and they lost those games. They went 0-3 overall, but 3-0 ATS. So this is a Bears team that can play close games against their division. I think they do that again today. I'm on the +7 with the Bears. I'm not saying they win the game outright, but I'm taking the +7 here with Chicago against Minnesota. Vikings team total over. Vikings -7. Kind of want the Bears, but I'm not sure. That's fair. Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. Hawkinson touchdown. What's good, y'all? Let's cash these tickets today. Good luck, my brother. What's good? Stop Geo. Hawkinson 56+ receiving yards at +123. Fair. We'll move on. Second game of Monday Night Football. We get 2 football games today. This one I really don't have too much of an interest in. I mean, the line's starting to move. We have the Atlanta Falcons and the Las Vegas Raiders. This line is now 5.5, total 44.5. Look ahead line 3.5, opening line 4, and now we're seeing 5.5s. So we've got to move towards Atlanta. Look at line 44, opening line 42.5. Now we're seeing 44.5. So we've moved towards the over here in this game. 89% of tickets, 76% of the cash is on the Falcons. The line's moving towards them. 87% of tickets and 75% of cash on the over. The line's moving towards the over here in this one. So public on both the Falcons and the over, but at least the markets are showing a little bit of concern towards it with them moving the line towards the Falcons and moving the line towards the over. I really don't have interest in this Las Vegas Raiders team. And this Falcons team, we're asking them to cover 5.5 on the road. They've lost 4 games in a row. Granted, this could be a get-right spot, but they lost to New Orleans, Denver, LA, and Minnesota. On the flip side, this is a Raiders team that's lost 9 straight games. They are currently, I believe, the second overall pick at the moment behind the Giants. So kind of interesting there. I have no interest in this game whatsoever. I don't want the Falcons laying this type of points on the road. I don't really want the Raiders right now either. The Raiders, they've covered in 1 of the last 5 games, so it's not like they're a team that's being scrappy and pass here for me. No interest. I guess small lean towards the Falcon team total if I had to bet anything in this game, gun to head. But there's the other Monday Night Football game I'll pay attention to, and some hockey to pay attention to as well tonight because we get a couple good matchups. So no action for me with the Falcons and the Raiders, just Bears +7 in football for me tonight. Falcons -5.5, Kirko chains. Yeah. Both teams have no offense and no defense. Yeah. Bijan Robinson, 96+ rushing yards, +116, and first touchdown, +450. There you go. We'll keep it going. Kind of a quicker show that we're running through these games relatively quick. Washington Capitals and Dallas Stars. Stars -140 favorites, total 6 in this game. Let's get into the projections in this one. My numbers really don't show much value on any of these games today, but let's get into it. I have this game projected for 6.31 goals, so I see maybe a little bit of a lean towards an over in this game here at the 6 number. I have the Stars as favorites in this game. I have them around -125, -130 favorites in this game. So I really don't see any value on the side in this one. We have the Washington Capitals, who just continue to refuse to lose any games. They've won 4 in a row, 9 of the last 10. They've received points in 9 straight. On the flip side, the Dallas Stars, they're coming off of a 2-1 win against the St. Louis Blues, a game they dominated the Blues in that Binnington really stole a point there for St. Louis. Expected goals 4.5 to 1.87. So definitely heavily favor the Dallas Stars in that game there. And after this, the Stars have Toronto and the Rangers at home. The Washington Capitals will go to Chicago before they head home to play Carolina and LA. Tricky game. Part of me wants to take a shot at the Stars in this game at a -1 line maybe, or something along those lines. Maybe a small shot at an over in this game, over 6, -110 would be my strongest lean probably in this game, would just be the over. But not a game I'm getting involved with. I think I'll have action on the next game we talk about, and that might be it. It's just the second game we'll talk about here between Florida and Edmonton. But not a game I'm getting involved with. Definitely want to see the Stars win because I'm ready to see some Capitals losses, but it's just never going to happen though. Caps team total over and the money line. They're a dog and they've won 4 straight, 9 of the last 10. Or have points in 9 straight. So, why not take a shot at them as a dog, right? We'll move on. Second to last game on the card, the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, -135 for the Oilers, total of 6 in this game. It's a system play. Obviously failed us last time. But we have the Florida Panthers coming off of yet another shutout loss. So 2 shutout losses in a row. Surely their offense will show up. Offense has not been a problem for the Edmonton Oilers as of late. They've scored at least 4 goals in 4 of the last 5 matchups, or they're 4 of the last 5 games. This is the first time these 2 teams are playing since Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So, Edmonton will have a little bit of revenge on their minds. And, yeah, part of me wants to take a shot at Edmonton in this game. But that being said, I'm just going to play the over 6 in this game. That's all I'm going to play. This is the revenge. Now, if the Panthers beat the Flames last game or don't get shut out, yeah, I'm more interested in the Oilers in this game after the Panthers beat them in the Stanley Cup last year. But for me, it's just the system play, over 6 at -110. And with Panthers coming in off of a shutout loss. And the Panthers have just kind of struggled a little bit as of late, but their advanced metrics are not bad. So I don't see them slumping like this for very much longer. And I think eventually one of these games are going to be the ones that Florida breaks out and scores 7 goals. Maybe that's against, I don't know, maybe Minnesota next game. Because Minnesota beat them 5-1 earlier in the year. But for me, yeah, I'll take a shot over 6 in this game. -110 will be the only thing I get involved with for this game. And that is over on Bet365. Over 6 at -110. Draisaitl goal, Hyman and a goal, and Florida money line. There you go. Barkov day-to-day. Yeah, he missed the last game. He missed the last game for Florida. So there's that as well. We'll move on. Only 26 minutes into the show, and we're already on the last game. Flying through the card today. We have the Vancouver Canucks and the Colorado Avalanche. The Avs -135 favorites. Total of 6 in this game. I do have this game projected for the Avalanche to be favorites around -115, -120, though, not -135. I have this game projected for 5.78 goals, so slightly towards an under in this game. The Colorado Avalanche are playing better as of late, and this is a team that I expect better from. Mackenzie Blackwood looked good in his first game with the team in that 5-2 win against Nashville. They're now 18-14, the Colorado Avalanche. They've still yet to have an overtime loss, so that's kind of interesting there. They're 10-6 on the road, and they're taking on a Canucks team that still cannot win games at home. 5-7-4. So basically 5-11 on the money line at home this year for the Vancouver Canucks. They've really struggled at Rogers Arena there in British Columbia. So it's Avalanche or nothing for me. I still refuse to back this Canucks team at home. I do. This is the Canucks team that has shown nothing to me that they can win home games. So this would be Avalanche or nothing, and maybe if I'm really wanting some action later, I'd take a shot at the Avalanche. But for me, it's another pass. It's not a huge card for me today. It's just Panthers and Oilers over there as well for that one. Avs team total over. Birdie, what's good, Birdie, in the chat? Good morning, Earls. AJ Terrell over 4.5 tackle and assists. Win them all tonight, boys. There you go. Yeah, I am just on the Bears at +7. That's all I'm on for the NFL. But appreciate you stopping by here, Birdie. Avs -1.5. And McKinnon anytime goal at +120. But that is everything for today's card. Not a huge card for today. That's about it. Trying to think what else. If you're new to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. If you guys want to join our contest, you can become a member of the channel for $5.99. You can join our contest. Right now, there's all of 2 people competing in it, which I don't think either are going to win because they're both in the negatives at the moment. So there's that as well. But $5.99 a month, you can compete in our contests where the winner gets $50. And if we get more members, we will be able to have bigger prize pools for that, of course. You also get access to the hockey spreadsheet, the college football spreadsheet, the college basketball spreadsheet. We post our card every day, or try to post our card every day for members only. And you get early access to free pick videos as well because they go live at midnight every night, the free pick videos. But if we post it before midnight, all the members get them early. So there's that as well. So a lot of perks of becoming a member of the Earle Sports Bets channel. So be sure to check that out as well. But that's going to do it for this one. There we go. Line moved on the Stars and Caps game. Did it now. What is the line now? Because if it's reasonable, I'll be interested in the Stars in this one there. But what are we looking at for the line move there? It looks like it's actually dropped a little bit to 145 now. Oh no, -150 for the Stars. So, yeah. But that is going to do it for this one. Another chat. If it'll click. There we go. -150 Stars, +134 Caps. There you go. But that's going to do it for this one. Well, thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys same time, same place for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, everyone.